Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, presented by the Hula Bowl. And today I have with me Dylan Cook. He's an offensive tackle out of Montana. How's your day going, man?
Pretty good, man. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, man, it's great to actually sit down with you. I mean, obviously Montana, great school, great program, a lot of great talent there. I mean, shoot, I think we have God, like half your team on our small school watch list. So yeah, it's going to be great actually sitting down with you and talking about a whole lot of things. So tell us about you and just kind of a brief summary of your journey, if you don't mind.
All right. Well, I went to high school in Butte, Montana. My first 2 years, I was actually a backup quarterback behind my older brother. And then once he left, I took the reins, played my junior year, didn't do too bad. And then the first game of my senior year, I snapped my collarbone in half and was done for the year. Pretty much lost all in any recruiting interest right there, except for one school, and that happened to be MSU Northern. Ended up going there, redshirted my freshman year, and then my sophomore year I was backup quarterback and then starting long snapper. So I got some time in at both positions, didn't do too bad. And then for my third year, kind of just went up there and just wasn't in it mentally, just couldn't really do it. And left there not really knowing what I was going to do. And then University of Montana kind of took a shot on me as a walk-on, and I was able to come in and over the course of a year earn a scholarship, and over the course of another year turned out to be a starter and just recently got voted team captain.
Nice, man. I mean, an interesting, very unique set of story there. So, quarterback, that's interesting. You are an offensive lineman, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how often that happens, getting a guy like you that was a former quarterback. So I do have you listed 6'6", about 310. How big were you as a quarterback? I mean, were you still kind of a big kid in high school?
Yeah, I was somewhat big. I was 245 my junior year and 252 my senior year. And then went to Northern and was probably my sophomore year, like 260 maybe. Ended up coming to Montana around 260.
Wow,
So I had
dude.
to,
So, well, I mean, I don't know, really what comes to mind for me, and I don't know, maybe you've heard this before, but I mean, like, I don't know if you know of like Jared Lorenzen, big
hmm
hefty lefty,
yeah,
who really did some great things. I think he was a Kentucky guy.
yeah.
He had his moments. I mean, I guess perhaps maybe in a pinch, we could throw you out there at quarterback. So, I mean, you might be are you the emergency quarterback out there? Is that kind of how that works there in Montana?
I was hoping so. If the quarterback room got shut down for like COVID or something, I'd hope they, give me an opportunity. But we got a lot of other former quarterbacks on the team, so I might be a little down the list.
Yeah, well, I mean, with a guy your size, I mean, quite honestly, we want you on the line, man.
Yeah.
That's just kind of where it's going to have to be. So, when we talk about you as a player there on the offensive line, tell me what you think is like the best thing that you bring to the table as an athlete, as a prospect.
I'd say for starters, my football IQ, like playing quarterback, like you got to know everything about a defense. It transfers down to offensive line to, see what front the defense is in, see if they're bringing any blitzes, seeing if they're bringing any corners or safeties. And that really helps, just having the knowledge and the vision to almost see the whole field in a way.
Interesting. So, I mean, yeah, again, like being a former quarterback, a person who really sees like the entire field and really understands what's going on over here and what's going on over there. Having that experience certainly helps. When you're studying players, like maybe perhaps at the next level at the NFL, like who are some of your favorites? Like when you think about like offensive tackles at your position.
I really like the young guys like Rashawn Slater and Panay Sewell, just because like during preseason, Panay Sewell was like they moved him to right tackle, and he wasn't doing as good as is doing at left tackle right now. And just seeing him struggle and overcome it was really awesome to see. And then Rashawn Slater just went up against Bosa and held it, or held his, or no, he went up against Chase Young and held his own and did pretty good. So that was good to see. In terms of older guys, I was a huge Whitworth guy for the Rams just because he's consistent. Like his pass sets were consistent every single time, no matter who he was gonna block.
Yeah, he's probably one of the more experienced guys in the league. I mean, is he still in the league? I mean, he's been in the league forever, hasn't he? Like,
I honestly couldn't tell you. I'm not
um,
sure.
but he's just one of those seasoned guys. So you had to bring up the Chase Young thing, man. You just did.
Hmm.
So I'm a Washington fan, if you can't tell from the background. So
Yeah.
it's all good. So I guess, with a lot of guys, especially at the small school level, something that obviously happened not just to you guys, the whole world really, is the pandemic last year. You guys got the news, no football, and you didn't have a season. You didn't have a season in all of 2020. You did have a couple games there this past spring, but talk to me about like how that hit you, and not playing games, and maybe how you stayed motivated during that time.
Um, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty tough, but it was kind of a blessing at the same time because I had to put on a little bit more weight. And I just kind of got in the weight room and was able to get in the film room and critique my game. And then it also gave me an extra year of grad school under scholarship, so that's kind of a plus to it as well. Um, in terms of like playing and staying motivated, we were still practicing a lot as much as we could, and it really helped going up against our defensive line. There's a lot of tough dudes in that D line, and they make us better every time we practice against them.
Right. I mean, obviously, some great guys there on your team. Got a silly question I want to ask you. So, like, because you kind of brought up some of your teammates, if you, I don't know, like if there was like the zombie apocalypse and you had to pick three dudes from your team to be in your corner, who are you picking?
Oh man, probably Joe Babros. He's a defensive end. Uh, Probably Ryan Arnston. He's one of our running backs. He's a huge outdoorsman guy. He probably knows his way around. And then probably Jace Lewis, just for the same reason. They know their way around, the
Oh, yeah.
outdoors area. And bad dudes right there.
Well, I mean, Jace Lewis is he's a dog. We'll just
Yeah,
call it
for
how it
sure.
is, man. Like he's got
Yeah.
such a fight in him. I mean, you really want to have him on your team like
Oh yeah.
all the time. So I know he's one of our top small school players. So um, uh, you, like you said, one of the team captains there, with Jace Lewis amongst others. Tell me about you as a team captain, as a leader on your football team. I mean, how does that make you feel? And maybe perhaps like, what kind of leader you are out there for your program.
It's definitely an honor being voted as one of the team captains by my teammates. It definitely means a lot. Um, as to what type of leader I am, I'm more of like a lead by example guy. I'm not gonna, get in your face and rah rah, but I'm gonna come every day with energy and do my best to perfect my technique and make sure I'm going through the drills 100% and expect the same out of my teammates.
Nice. And kind of walk me through like I don't know, maybe like a typical week, you got to go in there and do the work, film room, weight room and what have you. What's like that typical week look like for you?
Well, Monday we lift. I lift early in the morning. That's like our heavy lift day. And then we do a practice, but it's not like any pads or anything like that. And Monday and Tuesday are really my heavy school days because for my program, I got a lot of reading to do and stuff like that. So try to get that stuff done early in the week. And then Tuesday we lift in the morning and then we throw the pads on, get to hitting a little later. And then Wednesday, Thursday are my big film days. That's when I try to get in the film room and watch as much as I can. Wednesday's practice is pretty much the same as Tuesday. And then Thursday's more so it's like a run through practice, like we call them perfect Thursdays. And then Friday in the film room early, and then practice, dinner, and bed early too. Try to get to bed by like asleep by 10, at least in bed by 9:15.
Yeah, quite honestly, man, these days you got me beat because like I can't get to sleep for, nothing. So
Mm,
10 o'clock is early for me.
yeah.
Um, but you were talking a little bit about obviously, a lot of dedication there in the film room and weight room. How do you attack the weight room? I mean, you have a mentality there, stepping in there and maybe even like one of your favorite lifts that you want to share.
Yeah, I definitely have a mentality in there because I definitely got to get stronger. So I go in there every day and just try to do the lift 100% and give everything I got and sort of work out the soreness if that makes sense. And then uh, my favorite lift, I really like power clean, but I got a back squat. I got to go with back squat. I used to not be able to have the hips to back squat like when I was in high school and finally got the hip flexibility up. So now I can back squat really well and turned into one of my favorite lifts.
So like I know a lot of programs like they have these like awards and like rankings and stuff as like who's on top with some of those lifts like are you one of those guys? I mean, what is that number for you? Like for that.
Mm, top 10 for sure, but not number one. Honestly, Moses Mallory is probably number one. He's one of our guards. He is insanely strong. It's crazy watching him
Jeez.
lift.
Well, I mean, kind of nice to give a shout out to Moses there too. So,
Yeah.
cool. Hey, again, a lot of great moments there for you as a football player for Montana. What's been like your, I don't know, most memorable moment of your career so far?
Washington was pretty cool. When we beat Weber State in 2019 at home, that was pretty cool. But being voted as captain was probably my most memorable moment. That means so much to me, just getting that from my teammates.
Interesting. I mean, again, like I think the whole world was put on notice when you guys went out there and not only beat Washington, but Washington was ranked 20th in the country. And people were like, oh my God, what are we gonna do?
Mhm.
I was, hey man, I was basically rooting for you guys to actually be like on the rankings for the FBS, because you just got finished, beating them. It's like, well, I mean, you just got finished beating them. You should be on there. Why not, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, hey, I mean, you guys definitely have the ability to compete with anybody in the country, in my opinion. So, kudos to you and your teammates there for like solid success against them. I mean, I never had any doubt. If I was a betting man, I probably would have put money on you guys for that, game too. So,
We didn't have any
um,
doubt either. It was pretty cool to see. We were a pretty confident group going into that one.
nice. So, just kind of talking about you and your journey. I mean, obviously, a lot's going has gone on with you so far. I mean, again, uh, back in high school, you were a quarterback. You ended up going to MSU Northern and found your way there at Montana. If you were to give your younger self some advice to prepare him for that long journey, what kind of advice would you give your younger, maybe high school self?
I would just say trust the process. Like I'm not super religious. I don't really go to church or anything, but there's always a plan. It's weird how this works out, and I didn't realize it until it happened. But I broke my collarbone, and then 3 years later, to the exact day, I got my scholarship at University of Montana. So just seeing how just weird things like that tend to happen. Like when I broke my collarbone, I was down mentally, like didn't know what I was gonna do. And I would tell that kid who was, sitting in the hospital crying to just trust the process and trust the plan and just wait to see what happens.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely trusting the process, doing some great things there. I mean, uh you guys have already won your first couple games. I know you're on a bye week now, which, thankfully helps me because I'm able to sit down with you during your bye week, but a lot of things going on for you and your program. Um let's talk about who Dylan Cook is outside of a football player. Tell me something about yourself, maybe something unique, hobbies, interests, talents. Anything that you want to share, go for it.
I still play basketball pretty often, like not during season or anything, but in the off season, that's pretty much how me and some of my other teammates prepare for winter condo. Is we'll just go to the rec center and just play a bunch of games of 5-on-5, and it gets pretty competitive in there. I never realized it'd get that heated, but we got a lot of hoopers on the team, which is kind of cool to see. Um, Outside of that, pretty much just a student. Like I take pride in being a student. I already have my undergrad in sociology, and now I'm just working towards my master's in public administration, and just really take pride in that. My parents instilled that in me and my brothers from a young age, that school is more important, and without school you can't play football. So
Yeah, I mean, definitely important to get your academic check. Like I've done that,
mhm.
like sort of out of the way. So that's kind of nice. Just to kind of dive into that a little bit more. Let's see, trying to find a question to throw your way so that I can try and figure out who Dylan Cook is. So, um, if I had to visit you out there in Montana, what would we do, man? Like, what in the world is there to do out there in Montana, man? What would we
um
do? Where would we hang out?
um I don't know. Let's see. Outside of football season, definitely we'd hit the Mo Club. We'd have to have a give you a Mo burger.
All
Um
right, that works. I can dig it.
start the day with that lunch, and then there's a lot of a lot of scenery, a lot of mountain trails, a lot of hiking, a lot of biking trails out here. Golf? Do you golf? I'm a huge golfer. I'm not very good, but I love to
Hey,
golf. So
it's fun. I mean, a lot of people when they go out to golf, it's not even about golfing, like
yeah,
it's just about hanging out and having a good time. So I mean,
exactly.
it's all good.
Yeah, there's
Um,
a couple nice golf courses out here. Out there at the
nice.
links.
So as we wrap up, man, I always try and ask this question, even though it's corny. Give me your why. What's your motivation? What gets you out of bed in the morning? Give me something. What's your why?
Just seeing, like, as a kid, like seeing my parents go through what they did to get us to football camps, to drive us to different states, to get our names out there a little bit, and seeing them almost break the bank in order to do it is my why for sure. I'm trying to reimburse them any way I can.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously, if you get out there, get this big fat check with some football team. I mean, shoot, I think it'd be kind of sweet to be able to pretty much tell your mom and dad, whatever you want, man. If you want a car, here you go. Here's a blank
Mhm.
check. That's always something nice to be able to do for them. So I feel like you are going to have that chance, though. I mean, you are going to have a chance at the next level. So to close this out, man, give me your pitch to all those teams in the NFL as though maybe why they should draft you or sign you, and what kind of teammate you would be for that program.
Coming back to my football IQ, I'm smart. I know the game. I know how it works. I know how defenses work. Um, I used to be a quarterback, so I got pretty quick feet, pretty good hands. Uh, Type of teammate I am, like I said, I'm not really a vocal leader, but I'll come in, put my nose down, and get to work every single day, and really just control what I can control. And that's things like watching film. That's the weight room. That's giving energy at practice and 100% effort every chance I get.
Yeah, I mean, exactly like you said. I mean, I just kind of want to reaffirm that. I mean, obviously, a guy who has earned it, man. I mean, you've earned a whole lot. I mean, you're fighting and clawing and earning your spot there, not only as a starter there at Montana, but also a team captain and one of the leaders there that, puts forth a lot of work, And like you said, you have a good understanding of the game. I mean, you're able to go out there and compete with the best in the country, really. So people should be put on notice. I mean, if they haven't been put on notice already, they should really be put on notice as to you, your program, and everything you guys got going on. So, uh, Dylan, I do wish you best of luck and just continued success this upcoming season. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sure. Again, this is Dylan Cook. He's an offensive tackle out at Montana. Definitely check him out this season.